Hi guys, welcome to this video. I'm Prajwal from Indie Crypto, and inside this video we're discussing about some of the corrections that's been happening in the cryptocurrency market, especially in the last few days. The correction seems to be happening from past 1 month. If you can actually see at the graph from CoinMarketCap for Bitcoin. So exactly a month ago, it was somewhere around $16,500 on January 8th, and it's February 8th now, and it's somewhere around $8,000. It did go up to the low of $6,000 as well. So I have Vikram with me here today. Hi Vikram.
Hello everyone.
So
Hi,
Vikram is actually one of the early adopters, or one of the guys who came to know about Bitcoin earlier than most of them. So Vikram, if you see these kind of price drops, what do you think about this?
I think it's a simple price correction because previously when the price just jumps to a new high, it actually jumps because of a lot of speculation and a lot of interest in people because of the price of a certain thing that just goes up. It may not be cryptocurrency, could be anything. When the price just is rising, everybody's interest is into it. And with the crypto also, it's the same thing happened when the cryptocurrency price is going up. A lot of people got involved in it without knowing in depth about the cryptocurrency. They end up buying because they think, okay, this commodity or this product or a currency will be for the future and will keep growing. But that doesn't happen. When they buy, they usually end up buying at a higher price because they're the newcomers, and eventually because adoption is less, the price correction happens over the period of like the next sometimes it takes years, which is like the last correction to this correction. Within that year, then they will see the price drop, and this also is the same thing. If you see, it had touched something around close to 16,500, and it lost almost 65 to 70%. That's a lot of loss, in value. So it's kind of gaining back again. So this is the price correction time, I would say.
Okay, Vikram. So you have come across these kind of corrections before as well, right? So this is not the first time the cryptocurrency market, especially the Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is there from 2009. So when we speak only about Bitcoin, there has been several corrections before as well, several similar corrections.
Yes, there has been actually. If you may say that Bitcoin has seen many corrections like this, similar to what all the crypto space has seen now. First, I would say the biggest that I have seen, it was there before in 2011 and 10 also. But the one that I have seen in 11, where it was around a dollar, which is like 40 rupees at that time, it jumped to $30. So it went up 30 times within like a month. That I would say is a very short period of time to gain so much. Very few people understood about cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin at that time. So the acceptance was so little and so few people. So because of the adoption was so less, it suddenly rises and drops like anything. So it touched $30, and within few days it dropped back to $1.5. So your $30 would be what, close to some 14,000 rupees, and it dropped back to like 45 rupees. That's was a great drop. Eventually, if you see, 96% of it was lost compared to this that we see, which is about 65%. So that was one of the biggest drops. After that, it went happening like that. In 2013, there was twice. Before 2013 and in between 11 to 13, I was traveling. I didn't see as much of the price fluctuation, but gradually it had increased. In 13, there was twice, there was a big price rise, and then the correction happened. Well, the 13 end price rise when it touched $1,200, and then it dropped back to like close to $250 over the period of 3 years. I think it took about 3 years to correct itself.
Okay, so in terms of percentage wise, the one that happened in 2011 that you just mentioned, that the price dropped from $30 to $1.5, that was the biggest drop. So that was more than 96% of the drop. So if we see now the current correction, that's somewhere around 65 to 70% is what the price corrections happen right now. Okay, so when you first saw these kind of corrections, especially in Bitcoin, so what were you feeling like? If you're a person who've invested in Bitcoin and you see such a immense loss of value in such quick time, how do you actually feel about that?
So there are two ways about it to feel. One is if you think cryptocurrency in Bitcoin is just a value proposition, it's an asset, and you want to hold it for a short while, then you would feel like a piece of shit because you just lost a lot of money in what you've invested. But for me, it was not the case. For me, the idea of cryptocurrency in Bitcoin was purely in understanding the technology and using it as a business proposition for for fixing a real world issues that we have. Like one of them is value transfer. So but for me, that didn't make too much of a difference. One of the reasons I knew this was like part of the system is because the adoption is less. So I think a part of your question before, you were trying to ask me how come then it was much bigger than now, is also because at that time in 2011 the adoption was very, very little. Very few people knew about it, especially only online. I would never ever get to meet anybody in person till say 4 years from the time when I knew about Bitcoin till I met somebody on the streets like who knew about Bitcoin. Took me such a long time, like 4 years. Till that time it was only online, so the adoption was less, so the drop and the price correction was higher. As soon as we see more and more adoption, like this year is a lot more adoption, eventually the price correction will be there, but it will not be there in a short period of time. It would take a long time for it to correct itself. So that's it's only because of the adoption rate that is higher this time.
Okay, and do you think that because a lot of newcomers and beginners are getting into cryptocurrency, not because they want to experience the technology or they just want to get in because they don't want to get left out. It's they just want to be in the game. They see the price rising and they just want to acquire some cryptocurrencies, and they end up buying at a very higher price compared to others. And when the price starts correcting itself, these are the first people who actually go ahead and sell their cryptos most of the times and end up losing money. So what are your thoughts about that?
It's very simple. It's because they have very little knowledge and very little confidence in cryptocurrency. As soon as they see the prices dropping, they panic because they don't know this will last, because they've not done their research and in-depth understanding of it. So they will eventually start selling. They might sell it at a higher loss. Is because again they pay their price to understand a new technology. So eventually today the price of crypto is higher, so you pay a higher fee to understand that. I mean to say a higher fee for a reason that you buy at a high price and then you suddenly panic and you sell at a lower price. So that happens with a lot of newcomers. So the same newcomers earlier would also feel that they lost a lot of money, but today when you compare it from today, like in 2011, I didn't think much people lost a lot. Of course, they felt like they lost a lot, but in value, a lot of people are losing more money now. But they are all of the same league, if I may explain that. What I mean by that is, from my experience from 2011 price correction to now, a lot of people got into crypto at the time when the price was high, of course, because the price just keeps going up. They're like, okay, we don't want to get missed out, and then they end up buying some crypto, but then they have very little time to understand, and to do research and then find out how it's going to last and why it's there and all these things. So they don't have the patience of the new word that we call as hodl. So the hodl comes with experience, and hodl comes with understanding and with a lot of research. So those things are still lacking. Anyway, but today when people do this and they sell, that itself is an experience. After they do that, they kind of understand cryptocurrency for the next couple of years, because they have bought and sold already. Now they'll definitely follow the information and the news and the research that's going on from their friends or the family or anywhere that's going on. They will just keep an eye on it, and then probably over a period of 2 to 4 years, they'll get back into it, and they probably would get back on it on a better stage than what they did the first time.
Okay, so basically the education of cryptocurrency, or the education that will help you understand cryptocurrency, not only the technical part, the financial part as well. So that's something people, especially the beginners, are lacking. So that's exactly what we wanted to touch upon in Indie Crypto, especially in few of our previous videos as well. So yeah, that was a great insight, Vikram. Thank you very much for that. Anything else you would like to share with our subscribers?
No, I guess we've touched base on exactly what happens in terms of price correction. Probably if you have any more questions of specifically what people want to know on after the video, we can definitely touch base on that. I can't think of anything on top of my mind that I can explain, but I guess once the questions come back, then we can definitely address that.
Sure, guys. So please go ahead and leave your questions and comments in the comment section below, and we'll ensure that your questions are answered at the earliest. Thank you once again, guys. Thank you, Vikram, for coming up and sharing your knowledge with us.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, guys, and have a nice day ahead.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.